So here we are with the last part of my series about office scents. So in this last little episode, this is my more expensive suggestions. So these are perfumes that are over £50, normally under about 150. So there's quite a broad spectrum for prices here, but most of them, they're relatively pricey. So let's start with a freshie, because I've got to have a freshie in all of these videos. I think it's important to have something lovely and fresh. So this is Chanel Cristalle Eau Verte. Obviously, Chanel Chance Eau Tendre, Chanel Chance Eau Fraiche, they're great options, but I just think that Cristalle Eau Verte is a beautiful, fresh, green perfume. Personally, I think this smells like a tea perfume. It doesn't list that. Like, this is the 2024 version, I think this is, or maybe 2023. And it lists citruses, green notes, jasmine, and magnolia. And this, I believe, is the eau de parfum. But if I look at the other Cristalle Eau Verte, which I think might be the eau de toilette version, you get a little bit of a wider range of notes. It's got neroli, magnolia, jasmine, iris, musk, bergamot, amalfi, lemon. And I think you're getting definitely some iris. You're definitely getting that bitter green neroli scent in here, and lots of green notes in the top. You're getting lots of citruses. But the more it dries down, the more it turns into something that's a little bit more kind of like a less herbaceous green tea, and a little bit more of a floral kind of take on something like green tea. When I first smelt this, I really did think it had like that green tea overall scent profile, but it smells more floral, so it's a little bit more classic. It's just very pretty. This is a really beautiful perfume, and I think that if you are someone who likes freshies, then this is going to be the one for you. Really, really beautiful, lovely, easy to wear perfume. So that's Cristalle Eau Verte from Chanel. So this is Eau Duelle Eau de Toilette from Diptyque, and this is just one of my all-time favourite perfumes. This is a beautiful green vanilla, and I do think, you know, I've got to have at least one vanilla in each of these lists, because I do think that people love vanillas. Some people only wear... I work with someone, in fact, who only wears vanilla perfumes, and I have given her quite a few of the vanilla perfumes that haven't worked for me. But this one works for me, because this is a vanilla, tea and green perfume. It's got a very obvious, beautiful sheer vanilla here, but it also has juniper and cardamom and black tea. So it's got this really beautiful, interesting greenness, this lovely aromatic feel. It's got like elemi, it's got a little bit of musk. And again, I find it so magical when they get the right balance of something slightly salty, and here it's like a little bit of ambergris. And it just is so easy for me to wear. I'm obsessed, and I love this perfume so, so much. I have the eau de parfum as well. To be honest, it's probably going to get decluttered, because as nice as that one is, it's like a slightly less sweet and a little bit more smoky take on this original eau de toilette. I think the eau de toilette is perfect, and you get more for your money. It's just magical. So Diptyque Eau Duelle Eau de Toilette is just one of my absolute favourites. Perfect office scent, absolutely beautiful. And let's just appreciate the gorgeous bottle. So please ignore the fact that this is missing its lid. Unfortunately, I got this secondhand, so the lid wasn't with it. This is Keep It Fluffy from Lush, and this is from the perfume library, so it's one of their more expensive perfumes. I don't think Keep It Fluffy is ridiculously expensive, but I just think this is such a fantastic perfume. It has something about it that kind of reminds me of classic, old school tangy florals, and this is definitely a tangy floral. It doesn't explain here what's tangy about it, but I'm sure that if I looked deeply into what the actual ingredients were in this, there would be some kind of citrus in here, probably like bergamot or something. But it's got ylang ylang, rose and jasmine, and that is the classic combo of notes in a Lush perfume. It also actually lists musk, it's got vanilla, and it's got orris root. But I think this is a very tangy perfume, that the main note is ylang ylang. This has a beautiful kind of vintage perfume scent to it, while still having a bit of a modern take because of the tanginess of it. It's got a very jammy rose in this. If you know what rose jam smells like from Lush, if you imagine like a kind of a ylang ylang perfume with a little bit of vanilla in the dry down that also has a dose of that rose jam. It's so beautiful. I love this perfume. If you like more vintagey florals, if you like things like Chanel No. 5, if you like things like Poème from Lancôme, if you like Tocard and Cashmere and all those kind of classic scents, then this is just kind of a more natural and I think maybe even yummier version of those. So I just really love this. It's a very happy perfume. If you don't spray too much, this is going to be really beautiful. You're going to smell really lovely. And I just think this would be a really fun, lovely office scent. But again, yeah, just don't overspray it and you'll be fine. Keep it fluffy from Lush. It's lovely. So what I have here is the Jean Paul Gaultier Classique Eau de Parfum. But actually what I want to suggest as a good office scent is the Eau de Toilette, so the original Classique in the original bottle. I'll put a picture up of it so that you don't have to look at this, but it's just kind of sitting in to represent the Eau de Toilette for now. So the Eau de Toilette of Classique is something that my colleague used to wear to work every day, so I always thought of it as kind of a really good office scent. It's clean and it's soapy and it's very, very floral and it does smell a little bit vintage, but it also has quite a sweet vanilla in the base. It's got some really interesting spices in Classique. So it's got, I mean, to me, it's like orange blossom. It's hardcore orange blossom. There's definitely some tuberose. There's a little bit of ylang ylang. I definitely can smell the star anise in Classique in the original, and I can smell the iris. It's musky. It's a very classy ladylike perfume. It's another one, once you spray it on, it will last forever. So you don't need to put loads of it on and you don't need to reapply. And when you first spray it, it smells to me almost like the orange blossom is closer to neroli because it has that kind of very bitter green smell when you first spray it. But if you just leave it to dry down, it gets more floral, a bit more soapy, and then the longer it dries down, the more you start to get that vanilla coming through. So, I mean, my favourite version of it is the Eau de Parfum, which is why I have this one. But this is kind of more syrupy, a little bit more sexy. It's not necessarily... It's something I would wear to a work party rather than like as an everyday scent. I think that the original is I like the spiciness in there, you know. It's like gingery, star anise. It's just really pretty. And it's an absolute classic, and it's called Classique, and it has become an absolute classic. So I do think it's a perfect office scent if you're willing to wear something a little bit more vampy maybe and just not overspray it. So that's Classique from Jean Paul Gaultier. So now we have a absolute classic from Hermès, and this is Le Jardin de Monsieur. I think I've obviously had my other freshie, but that one's very kind of green and classically green. This is just a very interesting fruity freshie. The notes they give you for it are green sap, mint, jasmine and kumquat. But this is so sunshiny and happy. It has, I wonder if it's the green sap, but it has a note in it that kind of smells plasticky in this strange way, which I kind of love. Almost a bit waxy, but it's also very juicy. The kumquat is such an unusual fruit. It's one of the nicest jasmines I've ever smelt. There's another jasmine perfume in the Le Jardin collection from Hermès that I find quite offensive, like really animalic and strange, whereas this one is like spring-like and light and airy, and the mint just gives it this kind of hint and hit of something that's really bright and fun, but it's just very juicy, and I just think this perfume is brilliant. I love this scent. It's one that I reach for in summer, but I could easily wear this any time of year. I think it's beautiful, and I think it would be a brilliant signature scent to work because super inoffensive, really, really pretty. Yeah, so that's Le Jardin de Monsieur in this gorgeous bottle as well from Hermès, and it's just perfect. This beautiful little perfume actually is one that was a signature scent of mine for a little while. This isn't my original bottle, this is a newer bottle, but this one, I did wear it to work, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So this is Charles Brosseau, and this is Fleurs d'Ombre Rose, not to be mixed up with the original Ombre Rose, which is a very different kind of perfume. This one with this kind of lovely candy pink colour. This is basically a juicy and fruity rose. So I get a very pink rose watery rose in here, which is my kind of rose. I'm very fussy about rose. I don't have many rose perfumes. But this also has rhubarb and mango and peach, and then it's got freesia and orris. There's some blackcurrant, there's some melon. It's so juicy and fruity. I always describe this one as smelling like rose water and pink jelly babies, like pink fruity sweets, because it just, although it's kind of sheer and it is quite floral, it definitely has this undertone of pink hard candy or like a jelly candy smell, which I think is so pretty. It's not the kind of rhubarb that you get in some perfumes that's like screechy and sharp and like really hard to deal with. And I think like the mango for me is what balances that out. It is slightly peachy, but I'm really fussy about peach, and I just love this perfume. So now this is one that I tend to wear kind of for special occasions for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I just think because I used to wear it and because I think it's so inoffensive but so pretty, I just think that this is a beautiful perfume for the office. And I'm really going to try and get myself to wear this one more, because I think in my brain, because I used to have this when it was quite expensive and I would wear it for a little bit and then be like, I can't afford to wear this as a signature scent. But now I have so many perfumes in my collection, I can wear this whenever I want. So I'm going to try and get myself back into wearing it again, because smelling it again now is like, oh, I love it. It's so lovely. So that's Charles Brosseau, and it's called Fleurs d'Ombre Rose. I mean, honestly, guys, of course I was going to have to put this one in because it is sort of almost my office scent, because I have so many versions of Mon Guerlain. But Mon Guerlain is a perfect, warming, creamy, cozy tonka vanilla with loads of lavender in it. I love it. I'm wearing this today. I wear it all the time. I love this perfume. I wear it to work all the time. I have like a little 10ml pen spray I take with me. I have the EDT. I have the Floral version. I have the L'Essence version. I have the Bloom of Rose EDT. I have the Intense version. I love, love, love Mon Guerlain. The profile, I love nearly all of the perfumes. In fact, all of the ones I've smelled, I love. The only one I didn't like, the only one was the Bloom of Rose Eau de Parfum, because it's got that tarry aroma chemical in it. But the original, this one, this is comfort, coziness, but ladylike. This is one of the few perfumes that I've had strangers compliment me on. So this is lavender, it's tonka, it's iris, it's vanilla, it's got licorice in it, which just takes it to the next level. It's got the beautiful Guerlain vanilla, so it's just magical, but it's something about the mixture of tonka and vanilla that's so special here. I mean, I feel like you could wear most of the versions of this anytime. The Intense might be a bit too much to wear to the office all throughout the year, but that's the one I wear in winter. But the original Mon Guerlain Eau de Parfum, which is this guy with the gold lid, this is perfect for just everyday wear. It's perfect for the office. It's soft enough that it's not going to insult anyone, and I just think it's beautiful. So yeah, it's one of my all-time favourites, top 5 for life perfumes. So that's Mon Guerlain. Beautiful. I had to put it in here. It is a perfect office scent. I personally would be happy to wear Chanel No. 5 Original from Chanel a lot of the time to work in colder weather, but I wouldn't ever wear it in warm weather because it would be super overpowering for me. Now, No. 5 La Eau is the easier version of Chanel No. 5. It's the more modern version. It's clean and it's fresh. It has that kind of white musky feel, but it's very citrusy, and it has such sparkly aldehydes. There's something about the aldehydes in this version of No. 5 when it's mixed with so many citruses. This has like, I think, lemon and lime and orange and bergamot. It's got like all the citruses. And then it's got very similar florals that you get in the one I talked about in my cheapies, which is the Alyssa Ashley White Musk, which is kind of ylang ylang. There's jasmine, you know, there's the classics, but I get a decent amount of ylang ylang in La Eau, which I love. And then it's got a nice clean white musk, and it's got some orris. There's also a bit of vanilla, so it's sweetened, but I find this one to be very sherbety. It's like there's sugar mixed in with those very acidic fruits. And it's very beautiful. It's so lovely on the skin. It definitely retains the soul of the original Chanel No. 5. So it's possible if you really don't like Chanel No. 5 that you won't like this one. But I also know that there's a lot of people who don't like Chanel No. 5 where this is the Chanel number 5 that they've fallen in love with. So La Eau, I think, is a really beautiful perfume. You can probably smell this in any department stores. I'm sure that they'll have this on any Chanel counters, so it's a good one to test. But it's really beautiful. It's really a lovely perfume, and I think it's particularly gorgeous in warm weather, which is when I tend to wear it. But then, you know, I have Chanel number 5, so if I was wearing them to the office, I'd Chanel number 5 it in the winter and I'd La Eau it in the summer. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I think it's a brilliant perfume. So that's Chanel number 5 La Eau. So what I have here is actually the elixir version of the perfume I want to talk about. So I have Pure Poison elixir here because I have a dupe, a really good dupe from Saffron London called Mamba Juice, which is a really good dupe of the original normal Pure Poison. But I'm just going to put up a picture of Pure Poison because that is the one that I think is the perfect office scent. So, I mean, Pure Poison is a creamy, musky, floral bomb, but it smells clean. That's the beauty of it. I've had compliments on this one as well, and I just think it's such a beautiful perfume. So you've got jasmine, and you've got gardenia, and you've got orange blossom. I think there's like a really equal mix of all of those things, but they are like a kind of body lotiony type of creamy floral going on here, mixed with the musk that's in here. You definitely do get some of the citruses, so there's like a kind of orangey, lemony citrus going on here, but there's something about the combination of like the creamy florals with the musk, the amber and the sandalwood in this that just creates this clean, pretty, feminine, floral, body lotiony smell. You could describe it as kind of bar soapy, but I'm not getting too much of an actual soap feeling here. It's sitting somewhere between slightly soapy musk and a slightly creamy body lotiony thing, but without ever going into so much into the almost hair conditioner body lotion kind of texture that it becomes sickly. I think it's extremely classy. I think it's extremely beautiful. This version that I have just is kind of sweeter. It's almost like Pure Poison, but with like an almost gourmand element to it because it has a cacao note in it. But I think any version you can grab of Pure Poison is just absolutely beautiful. And I just think it's such a ladylike, easy to wear perfume that isn't overwhelming, but I think it lasts quite a long time. So again, it's perfect for the office. It's super, super pretty. And I just think it's lush. So that's Pure Poison from Christian Dior. And lastly, we have this cute little baby. So this is just, I'll just put my finger in so you can see, a tiny little mini of Tocca's Cleopatra. Now in my first video, I said I wasn't going to recommend Lovely from Sarah Jessica Parker because I don't love that perfume particularly. And I wanted to put in Born Lovely instead. Everyone always talks about Lovely. And everyone always talks about Narciso Rodriguez musk for her. I think Narciso Rodriguez musks smell like swimming pools and chemicals. I think it smells like chlorine. So I don't like those perfumes. I don't like them on other people. I would never recommend them for the office because I think if anyone has the same kind of sensitivities that I do, they're going to hate those perfumes. So my recommendation is for Tocca's Cleopatra if you want that kind of scent. I don't know what it is about this perfume that I find better than all the others with the same kind of profile, because I think Lovely and Narciso Rodriguez musk and also Idyll, I think it's called, from Guerlain, they all smell very similar, and this one smells similar too. They're very similar, specific kind of grapefruity, musky patchouli. Almost a little bit like it's got that vibe of Coco Chanel, but without the sweetness that you get in that perfume and without it smelling so much like a fruit chewy. It's like they're fresher and more musky. But there's something about this one, and looking at it, I wonder if it's because it's got peach and tuberose mixed in with some of the other classic notes. It has like an added kind of hint of a fluffy, clean laundry smell in here that I really enjoy, that I don't get with the others, but it still kind of smells like Lovely. So if you know what Lovely smells like, this is incredibly similar to that. It just has something maybe slightly sweeter and something a little bit more fluffy in there. And honestly, I think the magic happens when you put it on your skin. From the bottle, kind of just smells a bit like lovely, but I think there's something about the peach that's been added in here that makes this really special. And again, I don't love peach. It's not really one of my favourite notes at all. I like it in some things, and in other things it just totally ruins it. But something about that popping through when this dries down just gives it this lovely, almost nostalgic feel to me. Like it smells like my childhood for some reason. I don't know why. But I just think this is my favourite version of that kind of lovely profile. I just think this is the best one. I love the Tocca bottles. I've got quite a few Toccas. There's a few that I could have picked. But I do think that this one is like a perfect office scent in the same way that a lot of people find lovely a Narciso Rodriguez mask, and probably a Dill as well, and all the other millions of perfumes. There's a Philosophy one that smells very similar to this too. This profile is very popular for like office scents. But yeah, for some reason, Tocca's Cleopatra is just my favourite. The other good thing about this, guys, is that this little guy here was clearly a freebie. Because they're so small. I think they're like 5 ml, and you can get these 5 ml bottles in the cute little boxes so easily on like eBay and Vinted if you want to test this one out and you can't get to like, because Tocca is hardly in any stores in the UK that I can find. So you can test this one out rather than just buying a big bottle and see how you feel about it. This is something that I thought I would get rid of, but there's something so lovely about it. I just dig it. I just really kind of dig this perfume. So yeah, you can test this one out without having to buy a big bottle, and I think it's really pretty. So yeah, that's where I'm going to end it, guys. Let me know what you think of these lists. Let me know what you think of my pricier perfumes. Let me know what your favourite kind of more expensive perfume is to wear to work. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon with another video. Bye, guys.